out of the 3 movies I saw on Friday, this movie was the most packed by a lot. Chase Lee Hockey here at the Blue Futon reviewing Left Behind, Rise of the Antichrist. What's this about? It's a pretty simple premise, actually. Do you remember that Nicolas Cage movie? I think that came out in 2014. I want to say this is the sequel to that one, or I think this is the third one in the trilogy, but this is 6 months after the original raptures happened. How is Earth handling it? What is happening on Earth? Who are these characters? Is God involved? Is the Antichrist involved? And do these big corporations want you to have a credit score? Do these big corporations want to control what you put in your bodies? Do these corporations want you to control your life? AKA the World Economic Forum, who also is like, we believe in climate change, but then we're going to use private jets, like over 100 of them, and use our Escalades and use everything like that. So hypocrisy to the freaking max. So before I go on what I overall think, I'll just let you know, are you a religious person? You'll like this movie. If you're not a religious person, you're not going to like this movie. Are you a leftist? You are going to hate this movie. I truly think if you don't believe in God, you're probably going to like this more than the leftists. Because let's just say this movie attacks, the media misinformation. They talk about vaccines. They talk about the World Economic Forum. They talk about the social credit score. They talk about people controlling your money. And for a fact, a lot of leftists, communists and socialists, those people, they want to control it. Look at the World Economic Forum also telling we're going to regulate free speech. If you regulate free speech, there's no such thing as free speech. So, like I said, that is my thing. So, did I like this film? I thought it was an okay film overall. I do think it opened strong, but then I would say about the halfway point, it did go into more preachy territory. And I was just like, okay, what are we trying to do here? I understand that you want to go that, rapture God message and everyone clicks like, oh shit, that's the reason why it's happening. But I think it could have been a little more subtle. But it is a well-made movie, and it actually is doing good in the box office. People need to watch out for these religious movies doing good in the box office. Like that one, like I Rang the Bell, which I wasn't the biggest fan of, but that movie did better than Tar in the box office. That Kate Blanchett. That has literally almost like $5 million less than the Banshees. And think about the Banshees in that production design. So people that are like, oh, these faith-based films, they go nowhere. They actually make a decent amount of money. But let's talk about the positives of the film. Like I said, I think it was a well-made movie and a well-intentioned movie of what it was going for. Yes, if you see my videos, you know I lean to the right. So every time it kind of makes fun of putting vaccines in your body, which, yes, I have the J&J. Calm the freak down. And then when they also talk about the World Economic Forum and the social credit score, I laugh at that, and I like it because I truly think people want that for the world. Then when you have the World Economic Forum with double standards and hypocrisy, and this movie completely goes that route of like, you know what? You're a hypocrite. You're a hypocrite. You have double standards. You have double standards. And I like pointing that out because people need to point that out. Yes, when you go to the World Economic Forum and say, climate change is bad, how dare you ruin my childhood? Woman, girl, no one told you had to get out of school and go be a millionaire with you have a bunch of millionaire friends or parents. So fuck off, first off. Language, I know, sorry for a movie like this. But when you have those hypocrisy and double standards of like, we must save the polar bears, but I'm going to fly a private jet 30 times this month, and I'm going to drive my yacht, and I'm going to do this, and I'm going to do my Escalade to this location in Switzerland or wherever that Davos, Devos is. I cannot stand hypocrisy, and this shows it. The acting, like I said, is pretty good in this film. I think it's written okay. The preachiness wasn't there until the second half, and sometimes I was like, okay, that's a little bit too much. So let's go with the negatives. There's this bathroom scene where this guy, talks to a church and says this whole 7-day reason for the rapture. He's like, okay, whatever. And then he goes to an Israel guy who wants to put a religious monument in the Middle East next to the Muslims. So it's like the Jews and the Muslims, peace in the Middle East. And I just kind of laugh at that because my brother will kind of, understand that joke. But then the Israel person says 7 years. Then he literally runs to the bathroom and starts crying. I'm like, I don't know if that should be that extreme. It would be more of like, oh God, what is actually happening? Is that the truth? Is that what's going on? So I think that crying moment in the bathroom really kind of pushed me in the wrong direction of like, that was just a little too dramatic for what this movie's going to go. I do like the Dirk character, but unfortunately something bad happened to Dirk. Dirk Nowitzki. Okay, not that Dirk. But then also with the negatives, I do think it's a 2-hour movie. It was a little bit long, and the ending was really rushed. It was like, boom, done, end of story. And it feels like they want to make a fourth one, which I don't know if they will, but just how they ended it felt really rushed. And when you realize who the Antichrist person is, I also laugh because I'm doing a contract in that country to help another country. So I just laugh at that. It's just more of a personal preference. But that scene when you realize who the Antichrist is really is like, what is going on? I understand what you're trying to do with, mess with like the people's perceptions in the room, but it really doesn't flesh out with what the other characters are trying to do to make it reality. And yeah, the ending really didn't work for me on that level. But overall, I think Left Behind, Rise of the Antichrist does enough right to make it a recommendation for people on the right and people who are religious, which that's what it's based off of. This movie is for those people. It is not for the people that fly the communist flag, that fly the socialist flag, that are a part of Antifa, that are part of the really leftist people. So this movie is totally not for them, and it's not supposed to be for them. So for it going to the audience it's supposed to go to, it is going to be an A+ for them, in my opinion. So Left Behind, Rise of the Antichrist will receive a 3 out of 5 with Futons, which equals at 60%. So see the critics' news scores gave this one. So critics, 0 of them, I'm not shocked. Audience score, didn't I call it? A 98% with over 100, no critic consensus. This movie knows its audience. The movie does it right for that audience. What else do you want me to say? 60, 98. Cheese out with the Blue Futon. Like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you think of Futantopia. You Booftonians. Thank you for watching. Have a great day. Seriously, if you want a social credit score of like, oh, you bought this, now you can't buy your groceries. F you. You don't get to control my money that I earned. I won't let you tell. I'm not going to tell you what to do, so don't tell me what to do.